Hello, welcome to Star Wars Battlefront Beta. Let's talk. You've got myself, Apps, and Dave Salmon from the Dimp Digital team, and we're here to discuss our thoughts on the beta, which ran last week and over the weekend as well. So, Mr. Salmon, we've sort of spoke about this a fair amount on the podcast. Obviously, you weren't involved in those discussions, cut out of them, but everyone on the podcast seemed pretty high on Battlefront. But when I was speaking to you over WhatsApp, you didn't seem as positive as the others on there. Can you just take us through why that is?
So I was positive in the fact I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I was buzzing about it coming out. There's a few of us all picking it. Well, might still be picking it up, but all grabbed the beta straight away.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
No.
Let's be honest. It was.
It worked.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing for DICE because.
Yeah, all the technicalities were there. It ran really well. It looked really nice.
You had it on PS4?
Great sound.
Did you have it on PS4?
I played it on
both?
PC.
PC, oh, okay.
Yeah. I saw it on PS4 at EGX, which made me think if it can look that good on PS4, it's going to look good.
Yeah.
Okay, and if it looked like that on a PC, I'd have been happy.
Yeah.
But, as you've told me a lot of the time, it's not all about graphics.
No.
And I think that's maybe where this has gone. It is only a beta.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. It just... I know that there was this big thing about, oh no, it's going to be Battlefield, but with a different skin. Yeah, but that didn't really bother me because I'm not massively into Star Wars, but I thought it'd make a good game. If they made an effort, and I really like Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm thinking, well, that's a win-win.
Yeah, exactly.
But it didn't really.
Does it feel like a reskinned Battlefield to you? Well, not really.
It did in the way it looked and how it played, and just sort of looking at the screen, the way your gun was going.
Yeah.
But obviously the gun.
Yeah.
Well, I say the gun because it pretty much was the gun.
Laser.
Yeah.
So.
That didn't. Obviously, that's a lot different. But yeah, it did look like it. But that wasn't. To be honest, that didn't bother me at all.
No.
But as I say, I like Battlefield, so I couldn't care less about that. But when I played the Battlefield 4 beta, which I'm guessing is a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, it would have been. Sure. Yeah.
That was like, I wasn't really into the series, and I played that, and I was like, oh, this is the bollocks.
Yeah.
This is really good. This is a step up, and maybe I'm just wrongly comparing this to that.
Expecting the same sort of step.
Yeah, I wanted that feeling again. Didn't really get it, but yeah, for a few different reasons.
Yeah. Well, fair enough there. And one of the positives that Logan mentioned on the podcast was that in some multiplayer games the spawn points are a bit off and you kind of get dumped in a bit of shit. And he was saying that the spawn points in Battlefront have been quite good, but in my experience of playing over the weekend, I have to disagree with this because I've been spawned directly in front of enemy turrets and within the firing range of AT-ATs, and I've even had people spawn in front of me whilst I'm in a turret, and I've just been able to just absolutely wipe them out, and they've obviously got pissed off and eventually turned around and killed me. But have you experienced anything like this in terms of the way the game's spawning you into the game, or has it been pretty much fine for you?
I'd say in the mode, the snow one.
Yeah, the Walker Assault, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well, like I say, I'm not big on Star Wars.
No.
But that level, definitely.
Yeah.
The other two, the whole mode, well, obviously doesn't really matter. That was fine.
Nah.
The other one was fine. But that one, yeah, it was a bit poor. I felt that I wasn't that good at it. I'd done quite well on the what was the sort of 8v8 one?
I think it's Drop Point, I think it's called.
That's it, yeah, Drop Zone or something
like
that.
Drop Zone, yeah.
Yeah, that was fine. But yeah, the Walker Assault one definitely was spawning me in some funny old places.
Yeah.
And it was hard to know what to do at first. When we figured out you know, what you literally have to do with the points and that. But everyone's white.
Yeah.
I mean, is that just us? Like, we were all saying this.
You can't see them. Yeah.
And when you do, you don't really know how to shoot. Their name does sort of appear, I think it was in red or black or something. But that was only when you got close to them. And the good people were killing me before that anyway.
Yeah, you get put down quite easily.
I mean, I don't know. They'll probably change that.
Yeah.
But I suppose they've got to stick with the way Star Wars is. But that was something that was a bit stupid. So even if you did get spawned in a silly place, I might get spawned and there'd be someone in front of me I should be shooting, and I'm just ignoring them.
Yeah.
So that didn't help.
No, that doesn't help, does it? No, yeah, I found it's very unbalanced. And like, if you was on the Empire or the Imperial side, it was almost a walk in the park most games. But if you was on the Rebel side, it was just constantly difficult. I don't know if they've done that purposely to kind of give it this underdog feel. Whereas if you get a victory as the Rebels, you feel that's a real achievement. Whereas as the Imperial to the Empire, I just felt like I could even get like top 5 on the leaderboard, which is a disgrace for any multiplayer game. If I can get in the top 5 groups, and that's not any good itself. But we've had a little bit of news come out since the beta's stopped, and they've officially announced that there's going to be a season pass there. That's going to retail for £39.99 or $50. Seems to comprise of like 4 separate expansion or content packs, and I guess this is no surprise really, considering it happened with Battlefield at a very similar setup. But what's your thoughts on this sort of season pass coming in? Bearing in mind it's got no single player campaign to kind of extend any story, it is going to be just multiplayer content.
Yeah, well, it's funny with Battlefield, it come out the premium, and everyone was going, oh yeah, because I was playing it at the time quite a lot. Get the premium. I was like, no, I'm not. I was against it. I haven't really been in. Well, I've never done that sort of thing before.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. But I think if you are going to play it, definitely for the whole time, it probably is worth it. Well, it definitely was with Battlefield. There was lots of maps. You did get a lot out of it. But see, I ended up going for just buying one expansion.
Yeah,
gave you a couple of new maps.
That's it, yeah.
And I got bored, stopped playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a right result for not buying the premium, whereas a friend of mine who did buy the premium stopped playing at the same time as me.
Yeah.
He got all them new maps
and then didn't ever use them.
It.
I guess
so
it's them not being clear up front of what you're going to get, is it? It's very vague. If you knew exactly how many maps you're going to get, when they're going to drop, that sort of thing, I think it would give people a bit more of an opportunity to make a more of an informed decision on there.
Yeah, definitely. It all depends as well what comes with it, because you'd always get the people, and I don't necessarily blame them, but we'll go off on one as soon as they say there's a season pass.
Yeah.
But it depends what you get. If you're getting a really good game with plenty of content, you pay 40 quid for it, whatever you pay.
Yeah.
And you're happy with that, that's fine. If I can only see it as a bonus if more stuff comes in.
Yeah, sure.
As long as there's enough there in the first place.
That's the thing, isn't it? That's the key. Yeah, if it's there in the first place, there's enough there for a game. Like, I remember I was shitting all over Batman, saying, "Oh, I can't believe they're doing a £40 season pass." I played for the single player, and that was more than enough there for a single player game to be finished. Like it didn't seem like I cut stuff back or left it on the season pass, and I think you're right. That is the key there. So apologies to Batman, because that was actually okay in a single player game itself. Another little bit that's popped up recently as well is that it's going to be no in-game chat. So if you're on PC, you'll be using your third-party software, which I think is pretty standard across some titles on the PC. And obviously, Xbox One and PS4 has got the console chat system. But what it does mean is that you won't be able to talk or plan or strategize with people outside of these channels. So they're going to have to be, you're going to have to know them and be friends of them. Forget your personal preference on whether you use the lobby system or in-game chat. Do you think this is a little bit of an oversight for those that might want to use it?
Yeah, I can imagine a lot of people would use it, especially on consoles, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So, like we sort of had a little chat about it earlier, there's no reason why they've not. Well, there must be, but I just can't understand it.
Yeah.
It's not, it's a very old thing, isn't it? These sort of games, these first-person shooters.
Yeah.
It's just been standard for years. I used to do it with like Gears of War.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Probably the old CODs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even used to talk to the random people.
Yeah, you would.
So, there's obviously people that still like doing that, and why they take that away, I'm not so sure, because there'll be so many people buying this, whether it's good or not.
Yeah.
In the end, so that does seem a bit of a silly one.
Yeah, you're a big fan of Splatoon. That, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't launch with any kind of in-game chat either. Did that adversely affect the experience?
Yeah, no, that was a sort of well, like we've said before, no one's got a Wii U, so until now, my mate's got one. Funny enough, he's got Splatoon as well. I just got it about a week ago. But didn't bother me at all.
No,
but. It's a bit different on Nintendo. I think it's not. I'm not being biased, but I think it is a bit more important to have it on the One and the PS4. I just think they've got the more the player base.
Yeah, that will want that.
Yeah, that will do that sort of thing. Just sort of thinking back to when I had, when I was heavy on the 360.
Yeah.
We used to do it. We'd go on and we were probably just as bad as all the people you take the piss out of, having a go at people, and they're all, all the awful language is coming out all over the place for no reason. All that sort of stuff, which you don't really get on the Nintendo, but and they should have still had it, because why not? You can just turn it off.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, you can just mute people. Or, I mean, I know for a fact there's people out there who play multiplayer games, sometimes not in a group, on their own, and they will use the lobby and the in-game chat. It just seems strange to have completely omitted it as an option for the players that do want it. Like I said, personally, I'm never gonna be bothered about it, but it's just bizarre there. So, just wrapping things up, you've played the beta. How was your feeling on buying this game? Is it more likely, less likely, or is you kind of in the middle anyway, and it's not swayed you either way?
To be honest, I don't want to be too negative because
Be as
I'll
negative as you
probably still
like,
get it.
because everyone's
Yeah,
been
I'll
licking its
probably.
arse.
Yeah. Well, it was disappointing, but that
Yeah,
could have been to my over expectations.
sure.
So I don't know. It's definitely not made me more likely to buy it.
No.
But I'll probably still buy it, even though it was quite an average beta, I think.
Yeah,
Apart
fair
from the
enough.
graphics.
No, it looks fantastic, sounds fantastic. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Dave. It's a pleasure as always. There's nothing more for me to say here apart from thanks for your time and ta-da.